How's it going, everyone? Welcome to Off the Top with Eric Paris and Red. I'm one of your hosts, Eric, and join me tonight, as always, are.
Your boy P.
And your boy Red.
How's it going, fellas?
What's the motherfucking deal, bro?
Good weekend, good weekend.
Yeah.
Starting to finally get summer at the last little bit of fall, or start of fall.
It always do that shit. The heat always
What's
creep
called
in heavy.
Indian summer. Like,
Yeah, we
you think
went
it's
to,
going to be sweater weather, and then all of a sudden it's 90. You're like, ah, shit.
Yeah.
yeah, we ended up going to the pumpkin farm. And I know it was hot when PJ, he over here like, F all of this shit. I don't give a damn about none of this. Like, he ain't want no cookie, he ain't want no donuts, he ain't want no ice cream. He just wanted some water, and he was sucking that shit down.
Start walking on the car. He's over it.
Like, we about to go touch the goats. He went over there, touched the goat, and looked at me and was like, hey, it's time to go, Pops. That's basically what he did.
I
He
am
did
done.
just like this. And he was like, kids started waddling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we got a lot of news to talk about, a lot of stuff from last week. There was no episode last week because I had to go out of town, had to drive to Minnesota and back. So, rep
How was
Mayo
that
Clinic,
drive?
respect to those guys.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of stuff from last week that is still kind of relevant, and then some stuff this week, rumors, video games, TV show. It's a mixed bag of everything.
Talk to me.
So let's get started with this has kind of had a little bit of controversy coming out of it for mixed reasons. Kendrick Lamar is set to headline Super Bowl halftime show, Super Bowl of 2025, and he had a new song on Instagram. First song he released since Not Like Us, but this has kind of had a bit of conversation coming out of it because people, I believe Nicki Minaj was the first one that kind of publicly spearheaded this, saying that Kendrick Lamar should not have been selected to be the halftime show performer. It should have gone to Lil Wayne. Now, had you guys heard about this? Like, what do you think about Kendrick getting the choice, and do you think it should have been Lil Wayne, and the conversation around
Uh, Personally, I feel it should have been a hometown hero, especially since Lil Wayne getting in that age where he is, or could be considering retiring if he's not already retired or soft retirement. The Super Bowl is a big deal for a lot of folks, and for it to be in Louisiana, I mean, how can you not have the person that was born and raised be the main person for that?
For sure.
I kind of honestly feel this is probably just a continuation of the whole Lil Drake and Kendrick beef, where since Kendrick's popularity is so high, it only makes sense for the city people or whoever the council to bring Kendrick Lamar in since he's the people champ right now. So
that?
if I mean, it's all about money when it comes to the NFL. They don't give a damn about none of that.
For
So
sure. For
if
sure.
people feel Kendrick is the people's champ and whatever Kendrick do, this motherfucker can sneeze and motherfuckers be like, "Oh my god, did you hear how he influctuated his sneeze?" I'm like, "Oh no, he's the goat." So it's
I
a
don't think
big
people
ass
think
money
of Kendrick
play.
like that.
It's a big money play. So this Kendrick could do no wrong. So I mean, it's all about money when it comes to the NFL.
Hmm.
Okay.
Dread.
I agree with the popularity part. Like I do feel like they was fucking with him just because of the popularity.
For sure.
But I did also hear that they said it's not just like a NFL council. It's really like they take consideration of the town that it's in, and if the town vote for that person, then they get that's like the final okay. So with that being said, like the people voted for him. I feel like he should do a surprise thing where he bring them out
Yeah.
because I've seen a lot of times where they bring a lot of people out. You feel me? So if they bring out him, I will be satisfied. I feel like a lot of other people will be satisfied, and for him, I feel like that'd be the best move for him too. You know, show love to the city. Like even though if he beefing with Drake, he not beefing with Wayne. You feel
Mm.
me? I
Yeah.
feel like he still should show that love for him. But of course, like you said, it's about money, shit like that. But yeah, show love.
And
Yeah.
then Lil Wayne, he ain't got a lot of PG friendly songs anyway, so that's a big factor as well.
Yeah, that definitely could be a reason why he probably wasn't voted, and whereas Kendrick
What about 1 million?
a Millie.
A million, yeah, that one. A million. That was heavy on the radio.
Yeah.
He got some radio play songs. He
Yeah,
can
yeah.
do
I'm,
those.
I'm not saying his songs don't show up on the radio, but he's more. I mean, if you look at his whole discography, it's a little raunchier. It's a little more graphic than,
For sure. For sure.
you know. I agree. A lot of that was one thing that people kept bringing up. I think like Nicki Minaj even brought it up that it was this, not even the Kendrick Drake thing, that it was the feud between Jay Z and Lil Wayne,
Yeah.
because Jay Z is in charge of, or one of the people in charge of finding the
Hmm.
artists to go. Famously, was it 2022 when you had LA, you had Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, Eminem, Mary J. Blige, and 50 Cent. He didn't want 50 Cent there. And Eminem said, either 50 Cent's going to be there or I'm not going to be there. So then they allowed 50 Cent to show up. Um,
Damn. I didn't know he didn't want 50 there.
mm. But then again, Jay Z and 50 have a lot of New York
For
City
sure.
beef,
Some hood shit.
But yeah, I mean, I kind of was annoyed at the whole hometown thing because that's never been a precedent before the LA 2022 one, right? It's been in Detroit a couple times. Eminem's never performed it, like they never had a Detroit artist there performing it just because it was in
But
Detroit, you
if
know.
you read the comments, they are pissed that they keep giving this other people though. They be like, we
What do you
keep
mean?
having all this stuff happen, and they won't bring out a Detroit rapper. Like they
Yeah.
was
Oh no, no,
mad.
no. Yeah, yeah. But I
Yeah.
mean, like there's a money reason for that. Like you both said. Um, there's no denying Kendrick is the number one guy right now.
Hmm.
If you look at all the other artists, the main reason they weren't picked, they're not doing anything right now.
For
When's
sure.
the last time Rihanna put out an album? Is Beyonce putting out an album right now?
She put
Can
out
we
some
know
liquor.
we know Kendrick has an album ready to go right now. Like
For
he's working on that
sure.
shit right now.
Yeah.
So the other artists are either on tour, they don't have a project to go out right now,
Hmm.
and I don't think they want to get in that trend of what they were doing before when you had older artists like The Who, Bruce Springsteen, Prince showing up when they were well out of their primes, right?
Yeah.
I don't think they want to go back to that yet. But yeah, I mean, Lil Wayne, what is he? He's 43. Like
Is
he's
he?
not that old. Like 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 the
He
drugs are
10
taking
years older than me?
it.
Fuck
Like,
going on?
look up Lil Wayne's age. I could be off, but I'm pretty sure
Shit, a lot of people we grew up
He
listening to. It's like,
he
41.
41.
yeah,
So
That's crazy.
I mean, I did think there was a little disrespect. People were saying like, there's no way he could perform. Lil Wayne can still perform,
At 41, bro, he
but
good.
he ain't dancing. I mean, what the fuck? All he gotta do is sit down and flick the lighter. Shit.
oh no, no, no,
Oh,
well no,
that.
there were people
Yeah,
saying that he's been uh doing a couple shows and he's like uh forgotten lyrics, that kind of stuff. And I mean, I don't think that would be an issue if he
but
knows what this set's going to be. But
I can understand the forgetting the lyrics part because they always said all of his songs were freestyles off the top. So he could have
Off the
been going
top.
to
Yep,
every
yep.
concert and
mm,
been freestyling everything.
Yeah.
yeah,
Now I have been hearing about him being a little, I don't want to say sassy, but he been in his little emotional bag lately. Like if you don't cheer for him or his new people how you want him to, he'll say, fuck it, let's leave. And everybody just walk out. And they be
mm,
like, we paid all this money just for you to say leave? And I've been seeing that at a few of his most recent shows.
yeah,
So he needs to calm down on that for sure. That's probably what they was looking at too. Like, is he gonna walk out or
yeah. You
get a
got to
little
think about it.
sassy?
Like that's like a lawyer type situation, like because
Yeah.
it kind of makes you think of Coachella with Frank Ocean. Like you'd
Oh
sell the
man.
tickets banking on Frank Ocean going to perform, and then the
Mm-hmm.
very last minute, I'm out. What if Lil Wayne did that on the biggest stage ever
Dog.
live? There's no backup for that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that very well could have been a reason to. But again, I agree with you, James. I think it would be really cool to, because Kendrick and Lil Wayne do have songs together. It would be really
Yeah,
cool to see him just come out of the floor, do a Millie real quick and then dip. Have the hometown hero there. But
for
yeah,
sure.
to me, like a lot of people are bringing up this old drama of, oh, it's the Kendrick Drake thing, it's the Lil Wayne Jay Z thing. I'm like, I think it's just dollar signs that they're looking at.
Mm-hmm.
And then Lil Wayne already came out and spoke about it too, saying he had fucked up.
Mm,
But I mean, like I said, it's all about what's hot right now, and Kendrick's it from the people's champ. So
yep.
even though I'm tired of hearing this goddamn song, like they playing
Hey,
this shit,
chill.
dog. I hate this shit now.
Chill,
Hell no. Fuck
chill,
that.
sir.
Like I was already
You hated when
leaning
Humble
towards
came
Drake,
out.
but when you hear this shit constantly, like God damn, like it's the same fucking song. Okay, not like us. All right, congratulations. Move
He
on.
hated when Humble came out too.
Who?
Hated that song. You,
Yeah, cause you heard it like 30 million
I
times.
re, bro, I remember this because I was, I'm a Kendrick fan. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? When that Humble album came out, I remember you vividly hating that song, and I'm like, how do you hate this? And of course, you said it's playing it too many times, but that was a good song, bro.
It's a lot of it's a lot of songs. Like if I go back to listen to the whole beef again, like how we did, I hate every
Mm-hmm.
last song for both sides. I heard it too much.
Mm.
Mhm.
But so like when Drake came out with these other few songs, it was refreshing because it's something new to listen to. But I
Yeah.
heard them shits too many times now. So if they was to restart another beef, I already heard Face, No Face, and It's Up like 30 times already each. So I'm tired.
Mm.
I'm already tired of hearing that shit too. So I'm just dog. This shit just need to end for real. Just go out there and say, "Hey, we made this shit up for some dollar signs or something. Shake hands, or
Okay.
something. God damn.
Do you think Kendrick's going to do something the beef related at the Super Bowl?
You already know. Dog, his commercial was fucking beef related.
Yeah.
His
There's no second
To
rounds or some shit.
Yeah, to
yeah.
me, that's him. That's him stepping on it, saying that's it. Like it's not going to be brought up anymore. And
To
that
me, that
song,
was petty, and that
and
was
that
another
song that
shot.
he came up with on Instagram, it pretty much like the consensus was this was not for Drake. It was for everybody. It was for the academics, the radio people, as well as the other rappers that are speaking up at the wrong moments. So to me, I don't think this would be a continuation of the beef. I don't
It
think.
shouldn't.
What's annoying is that from here on out, whenever these two come out with songs, it's are they? Is this the beef? Is this the beef? That's the part I'm hating. It's like let the motherfuckers just come out with some new shit that don't have shit to do with nothing. Like just forget the shit ever happened.
Hmm.
But now it's every time it's both fan bases going against each other. Oh, did you hear this? This is about Kendrick. Oh, did you hear this? This is about Drake.
Nah,
I'm hating that shit now. Like, god
you do
damn.
follow a lot of people that break down a lot of lyrics and songs, so that's probably why you hear it more. I'm not hearing these songs
I am
anymore.
hearing this shit entirely too fucking much.
I'm
What's a
barely hearing
dissect
them, bro.
podcast? Uh,
I don't follow them.
uh, that's on Instagram, and then it's no fa- no life Shack. Then you got Screwface John.
Don't
Then you
follow
got
them either.
the what you said those other guys was they came from Joe Budden podcast. They talking about that shit.
Hmm.
Joe Budden, obviously. Uh, I listen to a lot of motherfuckers on YouTube that
Yeah,
every time some motherfucking songs come out, it's is this a sneak? Oh, is this a sneak? I'm like, oh my god.
Well, I mean, it sells clicks.
that's
You're
true.
gonna click on that.
Like this shit was
Hopefully,
over in
people click on
June and it's
this.
September, bro. I'm like,
Drake beef.
whenever I see it
Yeah.
plastered, I don't even click the shit no more for real.
Yeah.
But how do you know they still talking about it?
Cause on
Mhm.
a little face, I mean on a
Hmm.
YouTube thing, they got pictures of their cutouts of them in the background saying, "Oh my God, Kendrick with the Air Force Ones talking about Drake, walking them down." And
E,
I was like,
you know, you know what to do. Put the Air Force Ones as the clickbait
as
picture.
as background,
Yeah.
just a crusty pair of
because
black
it
Air
came
Forces.
out just like a motherfucker beat the way his shit came out, like how it just randomly just popped up on Instagram with no title.
Mm.
Instantly, everybody was like, "Oh, this is Kendrick talking about walking down Drake." I was like, "Dude, this
You
song ain't
also,
had shit to do with none of that, bro."
I know like you're tired of it, but you got to understand this is huge. Like what we witnessed was it 3 4 months ago. That was the biggest thing in hip hop for years,
Yeah, that's
right?
true.
So it's not an easy task to do what Kendrick did to Drake. So if he's gonna hang his hat on what he did to Drake for another year or two, I think it's deserved. Like he has
Hell
that
no,
right to
that
do it.
shit. Because now you, well, from
Because
my
well,
personal
hold on.
opinion, now you about to make your whole career about Drake to
See
uplift
that
your ass.
you had said, I think in the little group chat that we had where I shared, I was like, oh shit, like the song came out. I think you were like, oh, he's gonna be talking about Drake for a long time, and it's like, you know damn well if it was the other way around, Drake would not let this shit go. Because how many years was he talking about beating down Meek Mill on random songs in his albums for
Hey,
years?
it's petty on all fronts. Like I said, like I'm not the motherfucking Drake showboater. Like I never put Drake on a pedestal. He just got
Really?
some nice songs, random songs about all generations, except
I thought you was
that
like
Jamaican
a
shit.
little
I hate,
academic.
huh?
Huh? Nothing. I'm just
No,
playing. I thought you was like a
it
little
caught up.
academic,
It
bro.
lagged. I didn't hear what you said.
Mm.
I thought you was like a little academic.
Hell no. Like
You was Team Drake just like you Team LeBron, bro.
I'm
You be
Team Drake for this specific moment in time, but
okay.
that because he had some nice songs. But I said when it came to the Drake shit, like I like how we talked during the beef. I was like, it's moments of Drake's time that I fucking hated. The Hotline Bling Drake, the Jamaican Drake, the British drill Drake. I hate all that shit. Like,
Mm.
but the aggressive Drake, I do like some of his songs, and then sometimes the singing Drake. It's points in time. Like
Okay.
what was that fucking album with him and 21 Savage with the girl on the face? I forgot on the cover. I forgot
Yeah.
he only had like 2 or 3 songs on that. And then the For the Dogs album, that shit was garbage. But it was only a couple songs that was good. Like I'm not a motherfucking Drake dick rider, but
Mm-hmm.
I
I
mean it's
didn't.
certain songs like I said, like No Face. I played that shit in my workouts. That shit is fire. And then the It's Up one with Young Thug and um oh boy. I mean, he got some nice songs, but you can overhear that shit regardless of who it is. And then I
Right.
already never did care for Kendrick's style anyway, so overhearing it is like fucking killing me at this point. Like every fucking commercial, every fucking background, every Instagram, every TikTok got that fucking shit in the background. I'm like, oh my god,
I love it.
nah, that shit's garbage, man. Like, god damn. That's straight the fuck up. And then now to me, it's literally like, okay, y'all had this beef. Don't have every fucking project be, oh, I'm only doing this because of Drake. Like obviously we everybody don't fuck with Drake, but Drake was at the top of the pedestal. Now you about to try to, in my opinion, you trying to catapult your career again on the coattails of somebody else's, shit. So you trying to step on him to elevate. Like just do your own shit like you've been doing your whole career. People put you on the pedestal for your work. Don't make everything about Drake to get your name out there in the public space. That's how I feel about it. And then the same thing for Drake. Don't be having all this, oh, we about to do round 2 shit. Like, okay, this shit was over.
Mm.
Call it a day.
You
Don't
lost. You
keep
win some,
keeping
you
y'all
lose
name
some.
relevant. Like, make your skills do the work. That's why when he did this 100 gig shit with his these random ass song releases on unreleased tracks, all this shit, not all of it, but some of the songs that's coming out, the circadian rhythm, the no face, that shit's sweet.
Right.
Keeping it fresh.
Okay.
All right.
You heard it here first from P Nasty.
All right.
No, tired,
So,
boss.
moving on to some more music news. This is about a new wave metal band, Linkin Park. You guys probably aren't as familiar as I am because this is for the white boys.
Bro, we all had a little emo gothic
Yeah.
phase, bro.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
So Linkin Park is as uh, many of you will know, they kind of were on a hiatus for a long time after the untimely death of Chester Bennington, their lead singer. I
Mm-hmm.
believe it was in 2017 when he passed. So
Mm-hmm.
since then they hadn't done anything, and there were rumors about 5 months ago of them possibly doing a reunion tour thing.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of questions of who could replace Chester Bennington. He's got one of the most unique, powerful voices in music, and they announced a reunion, an album, and a surprise concert all at once. And they were selected Emily Armstrong from the rock band Dead Sarah as the replacement for Chester Bennington. A lot of longtime fans. Uh, it was kind of a whirlwind at once. You
Mm-hmm.
had fans that were bashing on her because she couldn't sing. Again, it was a live thing that people were watching. Some people said she couldn't sing. Some people didn't like her just because she was a woman, and other people were like, "Hey, Chester Bennington would
Women.
love to have this woman represent him. Like he would have been totally okay with this.
Okay.
And then people went a little bit deeper. There were some other artists that came out basically condemning Emily Armstrong for previous stances that she had. She is a member, I believe, of or Scientology,
Them people
who
crazy.
they have conflicting views with mental health and mental health recovery, which is something that people believe that Chester Bennington was very much a staple of in his music, right? Talking about the emotional, talking about the mental stuff.
Yeah.
Um, and she also had previous statements where she defended another Scientologist, Danny Masterson, while he was on trial for sex crimes, which he eventually was found guilty of and is in prison for, where she was defending him, right? So a lot of fans were like, "Whoa, this is a lot of red flags coming up. Like, did you not vet this person at all? How are you letting her stand where Chester stood?"
Yeah.
So a lot of again, it's very divided in the Linkin Park fan base right now. So much so that even Chester Bennington's son has come forward and basically said that he does not agree with the selection of Emily Armstrong. So, and he has been receiving death threats from fans of Linkin Park. So it's a big messy thing right now, and the tour is kicked off. They've already had a couple dates, but yeah, like she's come out with an apology, basically saying, the Danny Masterson stuff she's tried to walk back, but the Scientology stuff and the fact that it was kind of under wraps for a little bit has people feeling a little gross that this is going on. Yeah, me personally, as someone that grew up with Linkin Park, I'm on the fence. Like I totally dislike Scientology to its core, but at the same time, like I'm glad Linkin Park is back.
Hmm.
But I don't know how Chester would have agreed to have someone with these views, basically lead his band.
Now, when you say conflicting views on mental health, like what are a few of their?
They don't believe that mental health is a thing. Like
Mm,
they don't believe that
Mm.
like schizophrenia is something that you can diagnose. Like so, like it's kind of hard to explain. But basically, they don't believe in the stuff that Chester Bennington was a proponent of.
oh,
Like you do need to uh, facilitate your mind at times, right?
for sure.
So they Scientologists for the most part don't think that's a thing. Like, no, that's nonsense. Get out of here.
So she
They
think that
they
shit was
don't
made
see
up,
these crazy people on.
Y-
I don't say crazy people, mentally something
disabled.
going on with them.
Yeah,
They don't see those like in the street in the psych wards. That they don't see that as a thing.
yeah, they think that's just mumbo jumbo. The doctors are making that up. There's no such thing as that. Yeah.
Mm.
So again, another conflicting thing for the fans to kind of fight about. But it's weird. It's a weird situation. They've already started this tour. It'll be interesting to
Whew.
see how the crowds react to them going on. But they hit the ground running.
Yeah,
That's a
especially if he
tough
was an
situation.
advocate for that, and the next person is a I don't fuck with it.
Hmm.
That'll ruffle some feathers for real.
Yeah,
That's a real tough situation because you can be on the brink of a mental breakdown so easily. It literally just take one thing to make you snap.
yeah,
A loss of a family member that you didn't even know you was that core in touch with can cause you to just snap and lose it. Like life is already difficult for a lot of folks, and
True.
you already waking up thinking like, "Damn, I gotta do this shit again." Over and over and over. Like that's literally how depressed people can be. Like
yeah,
depression is a real thing. Schizophrenia with no personal experience, I feel could be a real thing. Like it's really some shit out there that people literally can get diagnosed with a brain scan. Like that shit ain't fake. Like you can
yeah,
see people's brain with schizophrenia different from a quote unquote normal person.
mm,
Yeah.
Like it's a part of their brain that highlights. So that shit is going haywire for them. Like
Hmm.
I don't see how science, and that's with science.
Exactly. The name, the title.
yeah. So here, I just did a quick thing. So this is using Google's AI. So in the search, it said Scientologists believe that psychiatry is corrupt and barbaric, and that mental illness is a fraud. They also believe that psychiatrists were responsible for the Holocaust, apartheid, and 9/11. If don't know if that one's true, but uh, they believe that all mental problems are spiritual in nature, and that there is no such thing as a mentally incompetent person. Right?
So they think it's like demons.
yeah, they think it's it's been people are misdiagnosing this, like psychiatrists aren't a thing that should exist type of thing. So
Now, growing up, I did think hypnosis was fake. I did think that, but when you go deep down into some the more shit, like how what was that? What was it MK Ultra? I think that was
Hmm.
yeah,
like who like you torture motherfuckers to believe whatever the fuck you want them to believe.
mm,
Like torture can play a good. I mean, it's us off topic from what we talking about here, but like I said, the brain we don't even fully understand the brain yet.
For sure.
Like we like how they always say we only using 10% of our brain. Like
That was
that's
that
not
was a
true.
misquote.
Yeah, that's not
That was,
true.
yeah. It's like 10% at one given time, but we still use like I think 90% of
Yeah,
it.
we're using 100% of our brain all the time.
Yeah.
Like it's doing different stuff,
Yeah.
um, but yeah, yeah, it's a fucked up situation. Like,
I mean, how
because
you
I mean,
gonna
if
have the lead singer? I mean, nah. Just talking about that shit alone, nah. She got to go.
Yeah.
yeah,
Cause what if that was your go-to, your safe space?
yeah, that's what I was gonna kind of bring up. Like, if I'm a
Yeah.
fan, because it's I don't think it's a stretch to say that Chester Bennington and Linkin Park, again, they're emo. Like, we know them as like, ooh, I listen to them on a downtime. Like, that
Hmm.
band has probably saved a lot of lives.
For sure.
If you're a fan that has come from a dark place and you're good now, you have a family, you're whatever
You maybe
trauma
walked
or
in.
anything that you were dealing
Yeah.
with, they helped you deal with it and you're done with it. And then this person comes up saying all that shit that you were dealing with is bullshit. Hear me sing. I don't know if I can fuck with that,
For sure. For
So
sure.
That's why I said she got to go. We
yeah,
already talked
it's
through. She
yeah,
out. Well, I mean, she can't be out because it's already going. But that
yeah,
was a terrible move.
yeah. All right, moving on. Ah, so this is we got a couple more video game things. Okay, so starting with video game news, we have the details of the PlayStation 5 Pro. So I'm going
Terrible.
to go through some of this. It is available November 7th. Pre-order start September 26th. Uh, it will include a 2 terabyte solid state drive, dual sense wireless controller. The big three that it has improvements on from the base model is upgraded CPU, advanced ray tracing, and AI driven upscaling. Uh, now, the big things that are kind of pissing people off, James, are it has no disk drive. To have a disk drive, I believe it's another $80 charge
Extra.
to buy
Yep.
the disk charge, but it's already
Mm-hmm.
out now. So if you want that, you can buy it right now. Um, and it does not come with a stand, a vertical stand. The vertical stand itself costs $30, and that's on top of the price tag of $700 for a mid-gen refresh.
So you
They
at
pulling an Apple.
almost a band, bro.
They're
Yeah.
Plus
pulling an Apple
tax.
move.
Yeah.
If you're talking about, I believe it was in Australia, someone was pulling up the numbers to get everything, the stand and the disk drive and the console in Australia, it would run you around $1,200.
You might as well get a whole hardcore CPU that somebody already made.
Hmm.
We'll talk about that. But guys, on our previous, I forget which one we were talking about. We were talking about Concord, and I had
Yeah.
said that was a rare L for Sony because it seems in this console generation that Sony has been kind of leading. I mean,
Yeah, for
Nintendo's in
sure.
their own stratosphere, but Sony has been definitely leading between Xbox and PlayStation. I got to be honest, I did not expect another L as
For
close as
sure.
Concord to this.
You might want to turn that PlayStation light off in the background.
Hey, fuck y'all.
Put a
Do a clap
pillowcase
off.
over it.
Clap off.
Look, bro, I'm a Sony person, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I
Let's get your
have
thoughts.
my loyalty. I'm a man. Come on, dog. This remote control, it's
Oh,
$250.
yes. I failed to mention they raised the price on that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
The average remote controls went from 65, no, 69 to 74.99, and then their
Mm.
elite colors went from 74.99 to 79.99, bro. And it doesn't make sense. Just because it has a little bit of extra gloss, $5, and then the plain ones went up because they said production costs.
Mm,
It costs more to make this shit, so now you got to get hit with the basically the fees that they getting hit, the cost that they get hit with, and I don't really care for that, bro. Like you are $1 billion country, I mean, company, and then you putting the extra dollars on me.
right.
Mm,
Wait, so
no,
the new controller that come with the PlayStation Pro is
all
250
Yeah,
no, no.
$250?
This is like it got the paddles on the back,
yeah,
so this one is pretty much like this one.
the elite.
Paddles on the back
Yeah, yeah.
type
Yeah.
shit. The pro controllers, but the everyday controllers that was just $60 went up to 65 $75, and they're classy controllers, which is just a couple extra elite colors. Those went up by $5 as well, and it's
Yeah.
all because of production costs.
Can you customize it like how you can with the Xbox Elite? Like take off
What
the
you mean
thumbsticks?
customize it like what?
Like take off the thumbsticks and
Yeah, yeah, yeah. These can come off, but
okay.
this is the Pro Boy. I'm talking about basic controllers went up $5.
Yeah.
Now these are this the Pro one. I can take this whole joystick off if I get stick drift. I can put more paddles on here. I can switch the type of paddles.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Button mapping and all that.
Yeah, everything like that. I can make my controller if I got specific settings for Call of Duty. I can say this is Call of Duty.
All
I
right,
can
so it's
say
just like
this
the
is
Elite, yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. So that's what I'm saying. It's the same shit, just a Sony version.
So what's the
But
purpose of this PlayStation other than the 2 terabyte and the ray tracing? I thought they
they
already had
always
ray
do a
tracing.
PS. They always do a Pro.
Yeah.
They always do a
Well,
Pro.
this is probably the first console generation where people were like, "All right, the consoles are beefy enough. You shouldn't need a
It
mid-gen
wasn't needed at
refresh."
all.
Yeah. Microsoft and Xbox pretty much said there was going to be no mid-gen refresh. The Series S and the Series X are it. Um, we know that a Switch 2 is coming out eventually. I think they're waiting for the Japanese market to bounce back so they're more profitable.
Hmm.
Um, but they're not making like a Switch 2 Pro Alpha type thing. Like they're
Yeah,
just you're okay with the Switch. You can get the
for
OLED
sure.
model if you want.
The OLED, I got that boy.
It's always
Yes.
gonna be a Twitch person to buy it, but at the same time, when you come to the masses, y'all are basically putting yourself in the red just to hope that people will
People
buy
buy
this
it.
shit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's
and it's
where all y'all
stupid.
extra money is coming from or
Like, bro, and
losing.
let me put y'all hip to this, right? It said better ray tracing, right?
Yeah.
If the game is capable of it.
Or your
Yeah.
So,
TV.
you know what
Well,
I'm saying?
well,
So
no,
a
no,
lot
no,
of this
like
shit is playing off of ifs.
yeah, there are some games that people think like, oh, so it'll run better on the PlayStation 5 Pro. And it's no, if it's already optimized for the PlayStation 5, that's as good as it's going to get.
Exactly.
So it's not like it's going to get. I think Xbox has that with some of their backward compatibility games.
Yeah,
Not, I don't think it's tracing, but some of the games will get a better look just by running it on a Series X compared to like an Xbox One,
for sure.
360, that kind of thing. But yeah, to me, this was very much targeted just for a very small group of people.
Hmm.
Um, People that are going to want the latest and greatest tech out there and are big
Almost got
Sony
me.
fans, sure. Um, but yeah, if you are someone that is like, say, you have a kid who's like 15 years old and you want to get him a console, there's no fucking way in hell I'm
No,
looking at a
Mm-mm.
$700 because you're right, P. At a certain point, why wouldn't I just, oh, if I save $300 $400 more, I can buy a already pre-made decent built PC
for
and it plays
sure.
all these games, you know. um I don't know what they're kind of, I don't, I
And you can
again
use
to
whatever controller you want with that shit. It don't even
Exactly.
matter.
yeah,
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. I'm a guy that got all three, right? I've been looking at all these games, these little playful games like Protocol Lockdown and stuff that's on Steam, that's only on Steam. And I literally said Microsoft has the the link with the computer stuff. My next thing might be a computer, bro.
yeah,
It might be Sony and a computer. I'm
yeah,
not gonna lie. And a good one probably costs you like 2 grand, but like you said, an extra $300, 1,000 one. I don't need a super beefy one.
yeah,
I don't need a super crazy. But these consoles is getting out of hand now. And Sony, and I'm a Sony whore, but I'm a brand whore type shit. But
yeah,
that Pro showed me. I was like, You bullshitting me, bro.
Yeah, that announcement video they did was not good. Like we mentioned, the 2 terabyte hard drive that comes with it, that's huge. Like
Yeah, it
they
is.
barely talked about that, and I'm like, you lead with that. Like I wish my console had a 2 terabyte hard drive on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I got that bitch now.
Yeah,
I
you
bought the
upgraded. You upgraded
yeah,
yours,
I
didn't you?
upgraded mine,
Yeah.
but that was like $200-300 for people that got the regular PS5. Bro, you don't need that. Just buy it from Best Buy and just install it. The simplest install you'll ever do.
Hmm.
You will be able to have all of Call of Duty, all of Apex Legends, and all them big games that's doing it on purpose to monopolize your system. You can have all this with just extra $300. You don't need to buy an entire brand new system, bro. It's not necessary.
And that's
Right.
if you
Right.
got time to play all that shit too.
Yeah. Those are big time commitments.
That's
But
true.
I want to bring this up because I feel like not enough people are talking about that. I don't like that $700 price point because you're telling me right now, what is the PlayStation 6 going to cost? More than
Boy,
Mm,
$700.
ooh wee, that's
that's
instantly.
tough.
It's gonna be a $1,200 price tag.
You're telling me that now again, I'm coming from Microsoft space, right? I've loved the Xbox since the 360 and I've never looked back, like has there been some exclusives I wish we had? Yeah, but I love the hardware, know how it works. I rock with it. They handed Microsoft a win here because Microsoft can say, okay, this next console, whatever they're making, and it's rumored to be a handheld. They've been rumored to be working on a handheld for a long time,
I've
uh,
been hearing about that.
like the ROG Ally or the Steam Deck.
Hmm.
All they have to do, if they were trying to market a console already, like behind the scenes, they've been working on a handheld right now, right? And they're like, well, we want this to be competitive. A Steam Deck retails at about $650. Let's make ours worth $500,
Hmm.
right? And you hear this announcement from Sony saying that this console is going to be $700. You just handed Xbox an extra $200 to work with.
Yeah.
Because you can say, oh, well, let's actually get better hardware in here, make it 600, 650. It's going to be better than the PS5 Pro. It's going to be handheld. And then if they were able to work out a deal with Steam saying you could play Steam games and Xbox games on this thing, that's a win.
Mm.
Mm.
That's a win. I'm buying that yesterday.
Yes.
Like we are getting to the point where these are just going to be PCs at a certain, like I agree, like
For
what you
sure.
said, James, like PC seems to be the way to go. But yeah, I mean, like,
They already got the hardware. They're like you said, they already interlinked.
yeah,
Microsoft is
That's true.
a
yeah,
computer.
And
and
all you got to do is be like, take that part out, put that part in,
yeah,
and now it's updated. That's
yeah,
it.
yeah,
I don't gotta buy a whole new box and this thing and that thing. I'm switching out parts, bro.
yeah.
That's all I'm doing.
That price point is, again, it's
It's
insane. I don't know.
ridiculous. And a faster CPU, the games don't need a faster CPU, bro. It's not necessary.
Yeah,
And you got
You know,
people
with a
still not
little
realizing
extra,
you got to have the TV to handle all that capability.
and a lot of
yeah,
people don't.
yeah,
A lot of people don't.
Like my fucking TV cost me $1,500. It's like $1,200 or $900 now, but it's a year old. We're about to be a year old. A lot of people ain't about to spend that much
hmm.
for a fucking
On top of
TV.
the system,
Man, get the fuck out of here.
Well, no, and then you also got to. We know this,
the
but again,
cords.
like gaming is definitely a luxury hobby to get into nowadays. It is not.
This is true.
It's not just a thing you can just hop into. But we know this. These companies don't utilize all of the hardware that's on your console until like the last year of its life,
Yeah.
right? And then after that point, all the games after that, they're working with the new hardware trying to figure out how to get their stuff to work on the next console.
Yep. Yep.
So you won't see games utilize the full potential of the PS5 Pro until a couple years. And
Yeah.
at that point, fans are going to be like, all right, where's PlayStation 6?
Yeah.
So it's like you're waiting for them to get to this point, and then they're hardly going to use it.
And that's one thing I really do hate about games, bro. Like, just to the T what you said, bro. It'll be 3, 4 years when you finally see a game that says we're not gonna support PS4, so we can dive deeper into PS5. And you'd be like, bet I'm gonna get the good graphics, and then a year later, PS6. You'd be
Yeah.
like, bitch, we just got here, bro.
Yeah,
See,
yeah.
that's the segue into what the topic I had asked earlier. Like, should we just start catering towards next generation games? Because I feel I think it was one game that just came out. I can't recall the name, but they said they not going backward compatibility with that.
Yeah.
I will mess with that game. Like, I'm a Call of Duty fan, right? I'm ready for Call of Duty to look like Battlefield. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
If we can get them graphics, I'll be so happy.
You're
I
not.
thought Black Ops
You're
6,
gonna hate Black Ops 6.
bro, it's so cartoony, bro.
That's
Of
just the
course,
art style, though. That's not like a graphic thing. That's they want it to look like that.
I know. Bro, when that first came out, when Black Ops 1 first came out, I understood. It was like on a fucking PS3 or something.
Mm.
But when Cold War came out, and I just left like a Modern Warfare game, I said, yes, it's going to be better looking than this. And it wasn't. I almost wanted to return the game, bro.
Yeah.
And then Modern Warfare 3 came out. I get the graphics. And then once I realized it was an art style thing, I said, here we go.
Yeah.
So,
It's about to go back.
I
what can you expect it to look like at this point? Because I know we kept
The
talking
beta.
about graphics. Like, what are we expecting games to look like?
well, no, I mean, and we talked about this before. I think when we talked about AI for a bit, graphics are as about as good to what they can be, right? Like, there's not so much more pixels that the human eye can
For
even
sure.
keep up with, right? Um, but I mean, as far as like these, the companies focusing on the new consoles, like say, all right, screw the Series X and the PlayStation 5, just the next model, you're leaving a lot of people in the dark. Because, like, I think, yeah, the numbers, there's a lot of people that are still running with PS4s, and there's not many PlayStation 5s that have sold. PlayStation 5 has sold more than the Series X, and the Xbox consoles,
Mm-hmm.
but they have more PS4s in circulation. So if you have a new game saying, all right, it's only going to be on PlayStation 5, all those hundreds of millions of players that would have bought to play your game, you're not getting that revenue. So, I
Mm.
mean, it's not in your interest to leave those players in the dark. That's why, like, for a
True.
while, Xbox had it, I think, for like a year or two, where most games you bought, I think, for like an extra $10, you could buy the previous and the next gen version at the same time.
Yeah. They
So,
call it cross gen.
yeah, the cross gen bundle, right? But yeah, as far as like graphics getting better, honestly, I think the thing that people are going to be like buying into is the companies to be able to output games that are bigger in size, better quality at a faster clip, right? But the way that we've seen the industry go, there's so many layoffs. There's so many people that wanted to get into gaming that they're like, fuck that. Like, was it 650 more Xbox employees were fired last week?
Damn.
And again, it was because of the Activision Blizzard acquisition. A lot of these people are redundant now. We already have these positions filled. You guys got to go. So, like, it is not a good space to be in the gaming industry right now, unless you get into the more union stuff and you're more solidified. How many closures have we talked about here?
A lot.
That
Arkham,
About
pandemic is
10.
really fucking shit over.
like,
Like that
like
shit
we
is
were
still recovering from that.
like Tango GameWorks went down.
Telltale.
They were saved. Telltale, they're coming back. We don't know when.
Yeah.
Was it Arkham Austin?
I
Was
think
not
Half
that's not
Life
Arkham.
went down for a
Arcane
minute. They
Austin.
might come back.
Yeah. So I mean, it's not a good place to be. There's not a lot of security there.
This pandemic
Yeah.
almost reminded you of modern day Great Depression.
Yeah, in a way.
I mean,
But yeah,
obviously we ain't suffering as far as food and famine, but as far as like jobs and shit like that and
mm,
Yeah. Some
inflation,
shit
like
that you thought you were solidified in, you're not
mm-mm.
solidified in that
bro,
shit no
because the
more.
power of the dollar is evaporated. Like $20 when you $20 is literally like $5 now.
And what else they say about it, bro? Uh, it'll be a better fidelity about it, but it
Yeah,
still all depends on if it's able to handle that type of stuff. So right now, the games that can handle it, bro, they was literally showing the first games that came out with the damn PS5.
yeah, yeah. That's
So
one thing
it,
that annoyed me with the whole presentation. That it was all a YouTube video that they released.
yeah, it's old shit.
Um,
Hmm.
all old games. Nothing new was announced. You're
Hmm.
raising the price on the controller. It's $700, and the other thing was, um, yeah, it maxed out at 1080p, and you're supposed to be showing us this 4K thing.
Man,
It's like
dumb as
it's
hell.
like I can't see what you're trying to show me.
Was
And like
was
the
GTA
only
6
thing that
confirmed to come out this year or next year?
is this year for sure. The
Uh,
system, right?
there was a rumor out there saying GTA 6. A lot of people were
Oh
saying
no, it
that.
got pushed back.
Well,
2026.
well, no. Yeah, I think it originally was 2026. Um, there was a rumor. People were saying that staffers were saying that they're in crunch time right now. They might need to push it back. And then Jason Schreier, who is a very highly reputable, guy that has the inside scoop, was like, I talked to a lot of people at Take Two and Rockstar that, to their knowledge, it hasn't been pushed back. So we're safe.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 2026 for sure.
For now. I mean, I'm not saying it
I'm
couldn't,
only
but
asking because I'm like, by the time this shit drop, would be a PS6 and a new Xbox at this point.
yeah, yeah.
I
Like
thought it
it's
supposed
time
to
for
come
a
out
new
2025.
generation.
Start saving that money.
So it's not 2025?
No. The GTA 6 was never supposed to be 2025.
Wait, was it supposed to be early 2026?
I'm not sure when. I thought they said I always assumed it was supposed to be like holiday.
And that's to make the most sense. So that's late 2026.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah,
But yeah,
they,
as far as I
but
know, Jason Schreier said that he talked to them. It hasn't been pushed back. Doesn't
because
mean it couldn't later.
how long we been in this new generation since what 2018?
Nine,
I
18,
thought it was
19.
2020.
No, we
Well,
had
no, we didn't get them until like 2020, and then again, the pandemic slowed down the release of that. Yeah,
Except
you
for
were.
me. I got mine first date, baby.
well, it was 2018, 2019. So
Yeah.
shit, it's time for a new generation. Cause ain't it's like every 6, 7, 8 years when we got
Supposed
new.
to be
Yeah.
8.
Well, no, again, like there's a clip or a thing going around talking about like Rockstar's release schedule over the years. Like
Mm-hmm.
one year they had like 6 games out, and then in the last like 10, 15, they've had Grand Theft Auto 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2. That was it.
So it did drop out 2020, November 12th.
We're until 2020.
So it's only been 4 years. So this only half the life
Mm,
cycle. So that's why they brought the PS5 Pro out, because they always do it half of it. So we got about 4 more years to the next console come out.
Mm.
damn.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
start saving your money because it's going to be more than $700. That's what PlayStation has told us.
Yeah.
And then with the price of inflation and shit, it's just gonna be for par. Cause like I was saying, $20 ain't shit no more
Mm-hmm.
at all.
Yeah, this might be the only console generation I had all. This is gonna be my last all 3 ones. I'm done.
You done?
I'm gonna have to knuckle it down. It's gonna be Sony and a computer.
There you go.
To be honest with you,
Yeah, that's the move, the computer. Cause shit, there ain't no fucking point.
but they get their shit late as fuck, bro.
Well,
Yeah.
computers.
Yes. I don't. Why do they get it late? I know you the answer to all. You know what I'm saying?
It's hard
Is it publishing?
well, no, it's hard to optimize it for like you have to have one set list of requirements that a PC can handle, and then optimize it for that. But I mean,
Okay.
there's a lot of backdoor stuff you can do with the game on a PC too, like all the mods
True.
and stuff, all that.
True.
Yeah.
Call of Duty gonna hate me.
That's like my favorite one is always the Skyrim mod where they replace the dragon with Thomas the train engine.
Oh God.
That'd be a scary sight to see, bro. He already
All
got
right,
a scary
so
face.
moving on. This one really quick. So the last time we talked about Annapurna was they had just finished their deal with Remedy Entertainment to uh, help publish Control 2 and then bring the properties of Alan Wake and Control to film and television.
Yeah.
Since then, the video game side of that company, Annapurna, they were going through, here's a quote, Annapurna Interactive President Nathan Gary and his team had been negotiating with Megan Ellison, the daughter of billionaire Larry Ellison, to spin off the video game division as an independent entity. When Ellison pulled out of the negotiations, Gary and other executives resigned, and they were followed by around 24 other staffers. So the entirety of Annapurna's game division that have made games like, I think the last big one they had was Stray, the one about the cat.
Yeah.
That was big on the PlayStation. They all quit. So they are kind of scrambling right now to fill these positions because a lot of game companies, it's not uncommon for them to work on other people's games. So you'll
Mm-hmm.
use them as like quality assurance. testers. So all these games that were hoping that Annapurna was going to help them with the development are kind of in limbo right now because all of Annapurna, in a very rare move, said, nope, we're all going to go.
Yeah.
So big shock. I don't think I've ever seen a story like that where the entire game company just left. Yeah.
Stood on business in that bitch. Fuck y'all. We all leaving.
I mean,
Uh,
that's
and
it takes a lot of it takes a company to let people know like, hey, we ain't to be fucked with. Like,
yeah,
we
Exactly.
are the reason why you making these bucks.
for sure.
Appreciate us. Like
Yeah.
those are the worker ants saying, fuck y'all. Like,
Yeah. Spin
see what
these
you're gonna do
wheels
without
without us.
us,
They tired
or
of
how
pizza
long it's gonna take
parties
to replace
on
us.
Fridays.
Yeah. Um, and going back to Remedy Entertainment, that deal is likely to be unaffected because, again, that deal was with Annapurna's film division. So that's likely to be still in place.
But the bad part is, if it's only them doing it and not the game, is it gonna be like half the movies that, like the Star Wars stuff, they don't know any of the lore and they just start putting out projects?
As far as I know, Remedy Entertainment said they would be working closely with the development. It's not like they're just giving them the rights and they're going wild with it. They're going to
Okay.
be in hand in like the writers' room, that kind of thing.
Okay. Hopefully, hopefully.
So hopefully it's still true to the vision.
That reminds me of the war, was it Warhammer 40K?
Yes, yes, yes. That's actually the next thing
Yeah.
I got here.
Henry Cavill said he can't wait to get that out on supposed to be Amazon Prime or something like that, right?
Yes,
And
series Amazon Prime.
yeah, and he said if they can't get it right, like, cause he been messing with that game since he was 10 years old.
Mm,
If they cannot get that right, he's gonna scrap the whole project. And he's
yeah,
supposed to be the producer and like one of the main actors in that show. Like
yeah.
the main reason why he left
The Witcher.
what's the Witcher was because they tried to stray away from the lore.
Yeah.
He's a really to the books type of guy, and I
Oh yeah,
respect that too. You
yeah.
feel me? And but the bad part is a lot of people I feel gonna feel some type of way is the Warhammer does not have women in that game at all, and they've been talking about how they want to add women to it, and he said that's not lore. That's not
Mm,
in there at all. So some people I feel gonna try to hit him with the sexist stuff, and it's clearly not. But this is just the way it was made, bro. So hopefully they got until December to settle it. And if it's not settled by December, I think 12th or something like that, we not gonna ever get it.
What's the backstory on
yeah.
that game?
On Warhammer,
Yeah.
how much time you
Motherfucker,
have?
soldiers.
Like, it's there. Oh my god.
It's
So
so deep, bro.
yeah. So the game just came out, Space Marine 2,
Mm-hmm.
and Seth wanted me to get into that, so we played it, and I was like, I don't know what the hell's going on. And my algorithm on Instagram and YouTube has been flooded with just lore deep dives, and they're like 3 hours each. Like
Yes.
it's a long trove. Again, Henry Cavill's been playing it since he was 10 years old. That's about how much lore there is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Man.
It's literally the ones that's in the bigger kind of mech things are the ones that damn near died in battle, and all they got left is a head and a
Yeah,
torso, and they call it like a sarcophagus, and they
yeah,
sit in the liquid goo attached to all this stuff to run it, and they say that is the biggest honor in war
yeah.
to be to fight for thousands of years because your body don't decay in there is running off of just
Your
mental
brain.
sensories, so you
Yeah,
can
it's
live 10, 20,000 years just killing,
Seth
and they
was
say
telling
that's
me
an
about.
honor.
Seth was telling me about them, and all the people that are in those, like they go crazy over time. Like it, like
Yeah.
they go nuts. Um, but yeah, so Warhammer, like I'm thinking about this like from the studio side. Amazon needs a win. I know people are kind of mixed about the Rings of Power, the Lord of the Rings spin-off show that they have.
Okay,
Uh,
I need to fuck with it. I ain't watch it yet.
it's okay. I mean, like again, if you're talking about trying to keep something true to the lore, they are slipping on that. Like
Oh,
it is deviating a lot, and it's kind of it's hard to say deviating. They're making up a lot of stuff that we don't know, right?
okay, okay.
So, but they're making weird decisions that I'm not sure we needed to know. Like
So let they
it's
fill in
weird.
the blanks with some bullshit.
It's kind yeah, it's kind of weird. Like
Okay.
the creation of Mithril, like it's really weird. We could get nerdy about it some other time. But yeah, like dope to have someone like Henry Cavill in your project, because I think we've talked about this for a while, where you have these studios, they see a big name, let's throw money at it and hopefully it's
Hmm.
good. But the people in charge of the development, the creative process, don't know what the original IP is. It happened with the
Yeah.
Halo show, happened with The Witcher, happening a little bit with Lord of the Rings, with Rings of Power. But yeah, 40K is something that has so much lore. You would need a team of people to keep people hip on what to do, what not to do.
Yeah.
So that again, if this the whole sexism thing about no women in the game, which I don't know about, if that is true or not true, I'd be amazed if they can get something this scale, like something with this much lore out there, and people would be easily able to digest it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. It's,
So,
it's too deep, bro. It's
yeah,
too
like
deep.
you'd have to
Mm.
have
Pause.
like, all right, 12 seasons, 20
Yeah.
episodes each. Like it's there's just so much there. um, and no matter what, with the fan base like 40K fans, you're gonna piss somebody off, you
For
know.
sure.
Um,
Unless you can break it down to like a good, I know it got to be milestones in this game. You feel me?
mhm,
If they can break it down to the milestone of the first one, of the, let's say it was the Marines versus the Necrons,
right,
and they can do that, and the next season will be like slightly filler, and then it'd be the war on this thing, or how did they get this part of the universe, or something like that. I don't fucking know,
yeah,
but that's gonna be the best way they can do it. Because if they do a deep dive, like you said, bro, it's gonna be it's gonna be crazy. It's
yeah.
gonna be crazy.
It almost makes me wonder. I'm like, why are you doing live action? Just do
Yeah,
like this would be a perfect anime style.
for
Like
sure. It's
like
too much,
it'd be
bro.
easier.
Yeah.
But yeah, if they
Motherfuckers gonna be 83 by the time they get halfway through the story.
yeah. They're like, yeah, we're gonna put you in this big sarcophagus thing, Henry Cavill. Thank you.
Oh,
Damn.
you
Can't
heard it
see
here
you there.
first.
Yeah, your face isn't there. You look too old.
Yeah,
But yeah, speaking about the deviations from the source material, uh, this last thing here with House of the Dragon season two has finished. Like it's aired, it's out there. Um, I've read the book that it's based on. I believe it's called
okay,
Fire and Blood, but it's a prequel series to the Game of Thrones TV show on HBO.
yeah,
Season two is okay. It builds to something and then it never jumps off of that. Right. So it again, I don't want to spoil anything for if you guys haven't seen it. But it got to a point where the writer of the show and the books that it's all based on, George R. R. Martin, made a very public post on his blog, basically denouncing what the show was doing. Um, Mainly, there was a big plot point in the second season where a character was killed, and that character was replaced for somebody else in the show. Uh, so George R. R. Martin was pretty much like, "Hey, like you have omitted someone that is going to be big for plot points that are bigger later on.
yeah.
So how are you going to rectify that if this person doesn't exist anymore?"
Mm.
So it's kind of got a lot of people. Surprisingly, there's a lot of people online that are with George R. R. Martin on this, uh, upset with how the show is handling the second season, and they got bit on the hand once with David and Dan from season 8 of Game of Thrones, where they completely just made a bunch of stuff up that people weren't really feeling.
Hmm.
But again, another point of people not really understanding the IP and just doing whatever they want. And there was a quote here that see if I can find it. Basically, George R. R. Martin was like, "You have these people, these producers and writers that want to make something great, and then they're handed an IP, and they want to improve upon it. You know,
Mm.
90." He goes, and he listed off all these other writers. So like or J.R.R. Tolkien with the Lord of the Rings stuff. George R. R. Martin, like all these uh, IPs that are out there, and you have these writers, directors wanting to improve upon it, put their own flair on it. 99 or 999 times out of 1,000, they never improve upon it, and they make
Yeah,
it
yeah.
worse.
I was about to
Um,
say that same shit. Like,
Mm-hmm.
bro, if I watch an anime, or and they say they about to make a movie, or play a game and they about to make a movie, I'm expecting to see certain shit.
Yeah.
And if you change that, I'm be like, what, bro? What the fuck is this? You feel me? Like people want to stand out so much, or add certain things for like dramatic effects to carry the story. Bro, the story has been carried.
Right.
Just just put it, you know, in film. That's
Copy
all
and
we need you to
paste.
do, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and you do too much, bro. And I think they do that shit. I'm gonna stop cussing. They do that because they want to grab another audience because they feel like everybody's so loyal they're gonna stay there, and then they mess up the core audience.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So just stay true to what it is, bro, and just call it a day. You know.
Yeah.
And I'm done.
And then to finish this one off, this is a rumor. Uh,
I
take this
love
with a
rumors.
very large heaping of salt. Constantine 2's script is finished, and Keanu Reeves is set to return, as well as director
Yes.
Francis Lawrence, who directed the first Constantine movie. Again, this is a rumor.
Yes, sir.
I I don't know, man. I want
Yeah,
this to be true.
I need it to be true. I heard him say he want to do that role, and on some real stuff, Keanu Reeves, he really did good in John Wick, but you know, as I dissected, he didn't have a lot of talking roles.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
just one emotion, and it was kill. You feel me? And I was cool with that. You feel me? But I feel like Constantine is gonna come with a little bit more, especially since I've been watching the animated series. You know, on was it DC? He a little quirky guy. Is that the
yeah.
same Constantine?
It is. So
Yeah, the brown trench coat and shit.
yeah. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
despite everything that we just said about staying true to the source material, the Constantine movie, the first one back in 2005, is nothing like the
way
source
off.
material.
I knew it.
But Keanu Reeves is still good in it. Like
Yes.
it's one of the rare times where they did something different with the lead character
Mm-hmm.
Constantine, and I think it still worked. Again, granted, I watched Constantine before I knew anything about the actual comic book
True.
character.
Same. Same.
But yeah, the comic book character John Constantine is very much like a
A
well, one,
jokester.
he's British, and
Yeah.
two, he's like he's kind of like a trickster. Like he
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
reads the fine details, and then he's like he's kind of a slick, cool guy. Whereas Keanu Reeves wasn't that in the first movie. Just kind of a yeah, just an angry kind of
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm gonna get you.
So yeah, I mean,
Well.
I hope this is true. Again, I love Constantine. Constantine's probably up there with Blade as those first
Mm,
really good comic book
okay.
dark
Okay.
adaptations.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's.
And then
Do
he
I think it?
improved as an actor too, like
Yeah,
over
He
those
has.
years.
He
yeah,
So
has.
obviously this will be a more mature, so he can, be more of himself, like stand out
Yeah.
a little bit.
Cause he is a funny guy. I see him and he played a couple cameos in movies as a funny guy,
yeah,
and I rock with it. But I'm not gonna lie, one of my favorite scenes in that movie when they did that transition to hell. Oh my,
Hmm.
that was a good transition, bro. And
yeah.
it,
No good.
no, that was about it. Yeah.
No, I was gonna say, it, if you go back and watch those movies, I watched it recently. It holds up. Like the visual effects. That was
Mm-hmm.
2005, seven, I think. I can't remember.
Hmm.
So it makes me wonder what would they do now, because the first one you already dealt with the actual devil.
Yeah.
So it'd
Yeah,
be
wasn't he
interesting to
supposed to be going
see.
to heaven or some shit?
No,
He
he was
sacrifices
killed.
himself.
He killed himself because he had the lung cancer from smoking all the time, and that's like suicide. So you go to hell off rip, and the devil took that from him, gave him a new start because he said you're going to mess up again.
Yeah, he
So I'll
sacrifices
see
him.
you later.
Yeah, he sacrifices himself, and the devil's like, "All right, I'll give you anything you want, just because I'm feeling generous." And he
Mhm.
goes, "Save Rachel Weisz's sister who killed herself. Like, send her soul to heaven."
Yeah,
So he's like, "All right, done." And as he's taking him to hell, like he's like, "Oh, you sacrificed yourself for another. You deserve to go to
yeah.
heaven now."
His body got heavy and
Yeah,
it was cracking.
yeah,
Oh my, that
yeah,
scene was nice.
yeah. Peter Stormare, the guy that played the devil, I love that interpretation of the devil. Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, do I think this is going to happen? I don't. I don't know.
No.
I don't. I want it to happen. Maybe it's going to be a situation like the Batman, like Matt Reeves Batman movies, aren't in the DC universe like the other
Mm-hmm.
ones.
Are they not?
Um, no, the Batman movies that Matt Reeves in and like the Penguin show coming out on Thursday, those aren't in the James Gunn DC
Oh wait, I'm tripping. I'm
universe.
thinking about the Twilight dude.
Yeah, him. Matt
That's
Reeves is
not.
Matt Reeves is the director.
Oh,
Robert Pattinson is the actor, the Batman. Those
those are
aren't
not in.
those aren't
What?
in the James Gunn DC movies. So, is this Constantine movie a sequel going to be connected with the James Gunn ones, or is it going to be separate like the Matt Reeves Batman is?
It's gonna be
Mm.
separate because Joker's separate too, right?
Yeah, yeah,
It's gonna be separate
yeah. If it
for sure.
happens, I hope that's the case and it gets to be its own thing.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, I if James Gunn is the one that's making the call on this, I doubt that he's like, yeah, I want Keanu Reeves back. Like,
because he scrapped damn near
yeah,
everything
he
when he
wants
went over
everything
there.
fresh. Yeah,
Yeah,
So he'll want a younger one, like a
yeah,
prequel.
probably,
Damn
or an
near.
actual British guy, and Robert Pattinson. That'd be funny if he has
god
Mm,
Robert
damn
Pattinson play.
it, god
that's
damn
uh,
it.
tough.
all right, y'all. We are good on time. This has been Off the Top with Eric Patterson Red. I'm one of your hosts, Eric, and join me tonight were.
Your boy P.
And your boy Red,
All right, guys. We will catch you guys next week. Gang, gang.
gang gang.
Gang gang.